Have you ever wondered how the most iconic ship in history, the Titanic, was conceived and built? In the bustling shipyards of Belfast, Ireland, the year 1909 saw the birth of a Titan. Conceived with ambition and vision, the Titanic was not merely a ship, it was a symbol of human achievement and the epitome of luxury. Imagine stepping into a world of grandeur where dining rooms rivaled the finest restaurants, cabins were designed for comfort and elegance, and a grand staircase served as the beating heart of this floating city. This was not just a crossing, it was an event, an experience, a journey like no other. The Titanic was a testament to the era's faith in progress, a monument to the belief that we could conquer the vast and unpredictable sea. And so this marvel of human ambition and engineering set sail on its maiden voyage on April 10, 1912. The Titanic was not just a ship, but a symbol of human progress and luxury, carrying some of the wealthiest people of the time. As it prepared to set sail on its maiden voyage from Southampton, England to New York, USA, the air was thick with anticipation and excitement. Over 2,200 souls, from the wealthiest magnates to hopeful immigrants, boarded the grand vessel, entrusting their lives to a crew of about 900. The Titanic was the epitome of luxury and technological marvel, boasting features that were unheard of at the time. It was a floating city with opulent staterooms, a grand staircase, a gymnasium, and even a swimming pool. It was as if a slice of the finest life had been transported onto the sea. As the ship began its journey across the Atlantic, she was greeted by calm seas and clear skies. The voyage initially was smooth sailing, with passengers enjoying the ship's amenities and the crew confident in their charge. The route was a well-traveled one, taking the ship from the English Channel across the vast Atlantic, and finally, it was planned, into the bustling harbor of New York City. But beneath this facade of celebration and grandeur, an imminent disaster was lurking. On the night of April 14, 1912, the Titanic met its fate. As the mighty ship sailed through the frigid waters of the North Atlantic, an enormous iceberg, as silent and deadly as a lurking predator, lay directly in its path. The collision was inevitable. Despite the efforts of the crew, the Titanic struck the iceberg, its iron hull scraping against the icy mass. The sound, a chilling symphony of groaning metal and shattering ice, echoed through the ship. The iceberg, a seemingly innocuous challenge to the Titanic's prowess, had inflicted a mortal wound. In the immediate aftermath, chaos ensued. The ship suffered significant damage, a gaping hole torn in its side, allowing the icy waters to flood into the vessel. The crew, in a desperate attempt to save the ship, sprang into action. They worked tirelessly, attempting to pump out the water, but their efforts were in vain. The Titanic was fatally wounded, and the icy Atlantic was claiming its prize. Meanwhile, the reactions of the passengers varied greatly. Some remained blissfully unaware of the impending doom, while others were gripped by a palpable sense of fear. The crew, in an attempt to maintain order, reassured the passengers, hoping to prevent a panic, yet beneath the veneer of calm, a grim reality was setting in. Despite the efforts, the Titanic was doomed. The ship that was once deemed unsinkable was now on a tragic path towards its watery grave. In the early hours of April 15, 1912, the unsinkable Titanic met a tragic end. As the clock struck midnight, the ship began its descent into the icy depths of the North Atlantic Ocean. The once bustling ship was plunged into chaos as lifeboats were lowered and passengers were ushered to safety. However, not everyone would be saved. As the Titanic sank, efforts to rescue the passengers were frantic. The ship's crew worked tirelessly, fighting against time and the icy cold waters to save as many lives as possible. The lifeboats, however, were not enough. Of the over 2,200 passengers and crew aboard the Titanic, a mere 706 people survived the ordeal. The sinking of the Titanic was one of the deadliest peacetime maritime disasters in history. Over 1,500 lives were lost to the icy waters that night. The magnitude of the tragedy was felt worldwide, with news of the sinking reaching every corner of the globe. It was a disaster that shook the world, leading to an outpouring of grief and disbelief. The aftermath was marked by shock and mourning. Newspapers around the world ran headlines about the tragic sinking, reflecting the global impact of the disaster. The loss of the Titanic was not just a maritime tragedy, it was a human tragedy. Families were torn apart, dreams were shattered, and lives were irrevocably changed. The sinking also sparked a wave of inquiries and investigations. The disaster prompted significant changes in maritime regulations, leading to the establishment of the International Convention for the Safety of Life at Sea, which is still in effect today. The sinking of the Titanic was a wake-up call for the world, a stark reminder of the power of nature and the fragility of human life. The sinking of the Titanic was a global tragedy, etching an indelible mark on maritime history. It was a disaster that reverberated around the world, leading to changes that have shaped the safety measures and regulations we see in maritime travel today. The Titanic, once a symbol of human achievement and luxury, became a symbol of tragedy and loss. Its story, however, continues to captivate us, reminding us of the lessons learned from its sinking. The Titanic, despite its tragic end, left a significant legacy. Its sinking triggered a wave of changes in maritime safety regulations. No longer would ships sail without adequate lifeboats for every passenger, a hard lesson learned from the Titanic's unfortunate end. An international ice patrol was established to monitor iceberg danger in the North Atlantic, a direct response to the very peril that sank the mighty Titanic. The cultural impact of the Titanic is equally significant. It has inspired countless books, films, and songs, capturing the imagination of generations. The ship's tale, steeped in grandeur and tragedy, continues to captivate the world, a symbol of human ambition, courage, and the fragility of life. The Titanic's story goes beyond the ship itself. It's a tale of human spirit and resilience in the face of overwhelming adversity. The Titanic's story serves as a powerful reminder of human ambition, tragedy, and the constant pursuit of progress, forever etched in the annals of history.